Welcome back. Well, there is a perfect storm brewing right now in Sydney's west, which is leading to only one logical, devastating outcome: another major, massive flood event in the Hawkesbury-Nepean region. The Bureau says a wet La Nina weather pattern is on its way back in October. The valley in question is still partly waterlogged. The government has done no mitigation. Is at 99.8%. You don't have to be a weather guru to realise that all these factors combined will lead to a more heartache and loss for the people of that district. Unless, of course, the New South Wales government wakes up and adjusts the level of the dam to alleviate the extent of the damage. It's pretty simple. Now, over the weekend, a group of concerned property owners from the Hawkesbury met with water scientist Professor Stuart to thrash out how they can force the government to act. Professor Khan joins me now. Stuart, thanks for your time. Tell us about what these residents want done immediately to prevent the inevitable.
Well, the residents are hurting and the residents are scared because of what they've just been through with 4 significant floods in the last 18 months. They don't want a repeat of that, and at the moment the likelihood of a repeat is looking quite high because, as you just described, all the factors are in place. The catchment is primed for a flood. It's soaking wet. We're looking at continuation of La Nina system. The dams are full. There's no capacity to be able to capture floodwater. So the residents in the Hawkesbury-Nepean are very keen to understand whether there is any opportunity to be able to reduce the full supply level in Warragamba Dam, maintain lower level of water in the dam, so that we have some airspace sitting on top to be able to capture floodwaters when they come in, and therefore to be able to mitigate floods downstream in the valley.
Now, Warragamba is a storage facility, not a mitigation dam like people in Brisbane would be au fait with Wivenhoe. But explain to us what can be achieved if we slowly released water from Warragamba from this week, say, because technically they can release up to 14 metres, can't they?
Yeah, more like 12. 14
12.
is the height they're talking about extending the dam wall up. 12 is the bottom of the gates. So 12 metres is realistic to be able to release over a reasonable period of time. You need to be very careful about how you release water from Warragamba Dam because of the nature of the valley that water is released into. And so you need to keep those flow rates down low. We would be talking about releasing up to 800 gigalitres, which is 12 metres of height. And 800 gigalitres, I don't think you would comfortably release in anything less than a month. But there's also, I know that there's interest in the idea of being able to do that immediately, being able to do that tomorrow. That's also not realistic. There is work that the government needs to do to be able to understand the implications, to make some regulatory changes that would be required for water.
Okay, but there's no time, Stuart. Stuart, can I just ask this question? There's no time for this stuff. They've spent 6 months having a review and doing no mitigation. When can we get them to understand how urgent this is to release some water out of that dam?
I agree, and I think we should have had this conversation 4 years ago. I've been quoted in the media 10 years ago talking about why we should be doing this, and we haven't had that conversation. That's the problem. There is a period of time that needs to take place between deciding that this is a realistic option and actually moving ahead with it, and I'm as frustrated as anybody that we haven't got to that point now. In practice, you could, in terms of engineering, water can be released. You could start releasing water from that dam tomorrow, but there's absolutely no way that the New South Wales government is going to do that without changing the regulation.
I've run out of time. Stuart Khan, I'm so sorry. I have run out of time. I'm right on the end, but we'll get back to this with you, and you are the man that could save the day. Thank you very much for your time.